So what is going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video where today we are back with a Zombies Q&A, the series where I take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, and I answer them. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. But let's get into it. Here we go and enjoy. So the first question of today is from Gumgun and King Junior Gaming. I believe that's your name. I don't know. I am so sorry if I got that wrong. But you say, hey BOA, what are the green ores in Origins? Because element 115 is blue. So actually the blue stones that we see in Origins are element 115. We've seen it in 3 different colours throughout our zombies timeline. Blue, orange, or yellow I guess you could say, and green. Back in the old days of World at War and BO1, the first time we ever saw element 115, its colour was orange. And then later on down the line, I believe it was around the time of BO2, element 115 suddenly turned blue. I think the first time we saw it as this colour was Origins, and then we also saw it appear as green in Origins as well. As to why we see 115 in different colours, this has never been explained to us. We know it was orange as part of the original timeline, but when we switched to Dimension 63, it turned blue. So could it be to do with universes? But then if you go over to Zombies Chronicles and look at the map Shinonuma, on the original version of it, 115 was orange, yet on its remade version, it is blue. We know that the Zombies Chronicles maps take place in fractured universes. They're not in the same one as the originals, but that still doesn't explain why there are multiple colours of 115. Does its colour even matter? I don't think there's a meaning behind the colour. I don't think one version is more powerful than the other, but it is definitely strange. There must have been a reason why Treyarch decided to change the colour of it, and I do admit it is kind of odd how we saw it in green, but it was only for one map in Origins. After that, green 115 didn't appear again, and it wasn't like it was a prominent thing, it was just a part of the musical Easter eggs. So that's all I can give you for that one. I don't think this is ever going to be explained. The next question from MLB Edit 05 says, hey BOA, why did Russman get kicked out of Broken Arrow? So the first time we ever heard about the incident that caused Russman to lose his job at Broken Arrow was in the buried intro cutscene. Malton says to Russman, you've been wandering the earth ever since the incident. And for the longest time we didn't really know what this was. We didn't know what exactly happened, but then when Treyarch gave us the Chronorium, we finally had our answer. We are told that on November the 5th, 2025, Broken Arrow was disabandoned after the primary facility was lost in a fire. It was later believed to be an act of arson committed by employees destroying evidence implicating them to the outbreak. Russman, his mind broken after 40 years of exposure to 115, begins to wander the earth. So the incident that caused Russman to lose his job was the fire at the Broken Arrow facility that he worked at. The fire was more than likely started by Broken Arrow employees trying to destroy evidence which could prove that they created the outbreak, which is kind of true. We know the Americans were creating their own undead army, and Broken Arrow specifically were creating the bios. But getting back to your question, Russman didn't really get kicked out of the company, he just lost his job. And that also explains, when you play BO2, why Russman doesn't know who he is. He has memory loss due to the mass exposure of 115 that he's been used to over the years. As we know, that's one of the side effects, because we can even see the Primis and Ultimus crew kind of suffer from that as well, just not as bad as Russman's. The next question of today says, now that the zombie storyline is over, can you revisit the alternate ending ciphers in Zombies to see if they mean anything different now that we know everything? So if I can remember this correctly, there are 2 different ciphers in 2 separate maps that show possible alternate endings that we never saw in Zombies. Either these are, like I said, alternate endings. If not, they are definitely events that we never saw take place. But you can find these ciphers in both Revelations and Classified. The first one from Revelations, this is it up on screen. And when you decode it and figure out what it says, it reads, I am the last of us, but I will be joining you soon, my friends. Cough cough. Death is near. I hope what I have done doesn't come back to bite this universe in the ass. Thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would be in a world ton of shit. Maybe now, with us all gone, the children will truly be safe. D. Now I've been over this cipher many times, but not since the zombie storyline is finished. Whilst the zombie story was continuing, there was always the little bit of me that was hanging on saying, maybe we'll see something else like this. Maybe this cipher will finally be explained towards the end, but it wasn't. Nothing that is described here ever took place in the zombie storyline, so this can only mean it is an alternate event that we didn't get to see. If we're reading this message from Dempsey, clearly it did take place just in an alternate universe, in an alternate timeline. Or possibly it was something that happened as part of the cycle, we just didn't get to see it because every time something happens that isn't supposed to, the cycle resets. What we see is the canon side of zombies. The only time we haven't was in Buried, when we got to see the alternate ending for Richtofen, but alternate things do take place in our zombie storyline, we just don't see them. Whatever we see, most of the time, is canon. But anyway, getting back to the cipher, so like I said, it is a message from Dempsey, and it sounds like he has gone into hiding from Dr. Monty. He has taken the children, or he has hid them somewhere, and Dempsey is the last one. He says, "I am the last of us, but I will be joining you soon, my friends. Death is near," so he's dying. It's possible that the other Primis characters, Nikolai, Takio and Richtofen, have already died, hence why he's saying, "I will be joining you soon," because he's dying as well. But he finishes by saying, "Thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would be in a world of shit. Maybe now with us gone, the children will be safe." It's difficult to say exactly what is meant because, well, we don't see anything more than this. But this hinted even way back in Revelations that Dr. Monty was evil. Well, not exactly evil, because we know he isn't. Yes, even though he trapped our characters in a cycle, it was essential for his survival, so can you really call someone evil just for wanting to stay alive? He did what was necessary for him to live. So if you look at it that way, Dr. Monty isn't really evil, but there were signs back in Revelations at the end of BO3 that things weren't exactly what we thought. So that was the first cipher. Somewhere along our zombie storyline, it seems like Primis figured out what Monty was up to. They tried to hide from him, they took the children, and Primis ended up dying. Dempsey was the last one left, but he was dying as well. If I was to guess when this happened, maybe just after Revelations, but also before the cutscene. It had to have been after Garad Karovi because it talks about the children, unless he means just Eddie and Samantha, not the other three. But obviously, none of this mattered anyway because our characters were trapped in a cycle, so whatever they did, whatever they tried to change, the cycle would just reset. They would be sent back to the beginning. And then the other cipher which we find in Classified, it is this one, yet another message from Dempsey, and once you decode it, it says, "Cough, field report, heavy cough. I don't know why I'm doing this. Is anyone even receiving me? Cough. If you are, then all hope is lost. I am the last one. The others, they are gone. We failed." I don't know if there are multiple outcomes or if this has always been the only one. No matter what we do, what we fix, we still end up here. This time travel shit, multiverse shit fries your brain. I hope Richtofen establishes contact with the others, woke them up. It's the only way now. It's up to them. Damn, it's cold. Very cold. Not much time left now. This is yet another event we never saw take place in zombies. Dempsey talks about the others, I'm guessing Primis, being gone. Once again, he is the last one. He mentions Richtofen establishing contact with the others. Who the others are, I'm not too sure. He says, I hope he woke them up. The only characters who we know are sleeping in their cryopods was the transit crew, and they did get woken up in Tag der Toten, so it could be talking about them, I guess. This one is a lot more confusing than the first one. Dempsey talks about it being cold and how there's not much time left. No matter what they do, they still end up here. Maybe he's saying no matter what they try to change, the cycle sends them back or sends them to the same place. This one's a lot harder to interpret what's going on. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, but it is clearly yet another alternate scenario that took place in zombies that we never got to witness. And I'm guessing it isn't just these two, there are maybe tens, hundreds, thousands of alternate events that happened. There are plenty of unsolved ciphers in zombies, so maybe there are more that we're missing, and if we solve them, we'll get to see them. They are, though, nevertheless, very, very interesting. I would actually love to see whether it's in cutscenes or a small trailer, something like that from Treyarch, just these alternate endings, these alternate events. Anyway guys, there we go, that is it, that is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Could we shoot for 2,500 likes on this video? I don't know, just a random number I'm going to throw out there. I think you guys can do it. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Leave any questions you have in the comment section below, and as always, we'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.